Well, the Immortals news continues, and it's funny because we're getting a lot of that pretty early on here because people are just kind of over the Dream Chasers promo already. But we'll get into what we learned today. We've got some new evolution leaks as well that look like we're going to get maybe another Immortals evolution similar to what we got for the Team of the Year evolution or a Future Stars evolution. Something along those lines is kind of what the leaks are right now. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to MMOXP.com. There will be a link in the description down below. They are the cheapest and the safest option. You could use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount. And just more rumors of big evolutions as well that aren't like crazy substantiated, but it's kind of gaining traction here. But yeah, guys, thank you for being here, of course. And we got new Evos today. We did finally get back on the evolution train for the last couple days here. We got Puppeteer, Center Stage, and this Bomb Forward Evo. Now, of course, we're sitting here with 2 paid evolutions and 1 free one. I think this is just the norm. I think post-FUT birthday, EA really were like, okay, they're just gonna kind of buy anything that we put out here, and we're just gonna slap a 50k price tag at least on anything, and fuck it, why not? Because we'll make some money in terms of FC points and also trade some coins in the market. So it just feels like we're gonna see from now on pretty much 3/4 of Evos coming out, 75+%, are gonna be paid to some degree, even $1, right? We talked about that like a week ago or so when these dropped. It's like, okay, $1 Evos, like what's the point in that? Well, they just want to take any little bit that they can. And I'm recording this like an hour or so after content dropped. Usually I record much later than this, but right now I'm leaving, so I had to record early. I'm hoping we hear news about a new icon player pick coming up today. As of recording this, we've not heard anything, but we usually don't hear things about gamble picks until a little bit closer. So if you guys go check Twitter, there's a chance like later on in the day today that you might see a leaked player pick or like a new version of a pick, of an icon pick of some kind. And I also want to shout out, if you guys have, been doing the menu grind right now, right? You probably haven't used your tradable silvers into that Dream Chasers grind pack. And I'm on my transfer list because I was just selling them. But let's look at the transfer market here. If you go and sell any silver right now, they're 450 coins. So I would recommend you guys, like, you might as well, if you're not planning on putting all tradable silvers into that Dream Chasers grind pack and just putting untradables in, you might as well sell these, because there was a point in time, I want to say maybe this Team of the Year grind, there was some grind that gave you a lot of silvers earlier this year that were tradable. So you might literally have 1,000 in your club right now that you can turn into 400k. So this won't last forever because the grind ends in like, I think, what, like 6 days. So just reminding you that silvers do cost this much right now, and they haven't costed this much in like a year and a half. Like all last year, common silvers didn't really cost anything. But okay, so let's get on to the Immortals promo stuff now. And for the last couple of years, the promo before Team of the Season, which is what this promo is, by the way, I believe, we should have 2 weeks of Immortals, then possibly a week of prep before TOTS, or we might just have Team of the Season immediately after. And you could even consider TOTS prep the TOTS promo, basically. But the last 2 years, we've had Trophy Titans and Golazo, which have just been icons and heroes only in these promos. Trophy Titans had the baby versions of cards. Golazo did not have those. At least I think they might have had a couple of them, but not on many of them. And now this year, Immortals will be the same thing. It's just going to be icons and heroes. We know Beckenbauer is going to be in it, right? And here's Taropt, who's a trader here. He says, this promo is the definition of market crash, so be careful, guys. I think Trophy Titans was a lot worse than Golazo was because there were baby versions of icons and the pack weight was really good. Golazo's pack weight was still fine, but the pack weight does tend to be better in this promo than you would think it is for an icon and hero only promo. And then there was this news here that he says 3 playstyle pluses apparently. I don't know if that means every single card. I'm assuming not, but he does say there's 3 there. SBCs, Evo, sure. Free packs apparently. Okay. And then Beckenbauer confirmed. Should be the final promo before Team of the Season. So yeah, we're kind of already to that point. We're already to that point where it's starting to become the why not just send it, because we're here to have fun at this point, and I'm hoping that Immortals ends up kind of leading into that a little bit, and some of these promos the rest of the year do kind of lean into just the more fun aspect of stuff. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the card design too, by the way, which what do you make of that? It's a little interesting with the black and white icon design, or black and white icon color there with that colorful background. It's interesting. But the news kept pouring in because I think everyone's over the Dream Chasers promo already a little bit. Now we got evolution news about Immortals, which is in what, 6 days from now, so it's kind of like, okay, but it looks like we're gonna get some sort of Become Immortal evolution. It says Become Immortal Playstyles 5, which apparently is not a pick. It's like gives you 5 playstyles. Now it'd be strange to do that if it wasn't a pick, because why not just give whatever card you're giving us 5 playstyles, those 5 playstyles, if you can't pick them, instead of giving us a pack to put them on there. So I'm assuming assuming it has to be a pick of some kind. Apparently we have a reactions and composure evolution boost, which is nice because I do think there are some cards out there, some chains people have been using that have low reactions and composure. So that's nice for you guys out there. And then we have a cam, position, and rolls plus for cam and CDM there. But the become immortal part of this is like, okay, it looks like that might be some kind of themed evolution for this promo team that maybe we get to pick and then upgrade, similar to what we've seen sometimes earlier in this year. But wet design down here does say something that's just kind of dumb again. Bro, card designs of this promo are one of the best in my opinion, with the hard eye emoji. We will start later, winky face. So clearly he knows something, right? He probably knows some evolution designs, knows designs. Once again, leaks are known by these people and they don't like to tell us until they milk us for every last fucking attention-seeking second that we can possibly have. But yeah, AC says here 5 playstyle plus. He says probably not plus, and then also he says doesn't mention pick, so I think it's 5 gray ones like base playstyles. But if it doesn't mention a pick, I don't really know what the whole point of that would necessarily be. But then we got more evolution news that you're probably not going to be happy to see, and that was FUT Agent here. This was before today's content, so I'm assuming there's going to be multiple evolutions that he's talking about of this. It could be one, I'm assuming no, but he says more 89 overalls soon, not 90s. So we're still sticking with the 89 overalls for at least a little while longer, which, what do you think about that one? It's pretty crazy how long we've been at 89s. I want to say it's been well over 2 months. It might be 3 months. It might be 3 months of 89s, which then once we get to 90s, how long do the 90s stay there? I don't know. Definitely strange. And I know we haven't had every Evo drop that's max 89. Some have been max 88, and now we're getting, maybe you could argue, more that are max 89, but I'm talking the play style evolutions. I feel like those are some of the best that they've released, and they've been max 89 for a long time now. The season ladder at least is max 90, which helps, but I don't know. Just, it's very surprising to me we haven't seen an upgrade on that yet. But then we got more road to the final leaks as well. Dewsbury Hall SBC / objective, official stats here as well, incisive and tiki taka, and then potential upgrade if he ends up winning the conference league, which would look like that, and that would be pretty insane. But I think he's the only card stats we have leaked right now. We got a couple more names though. We got the list right here. We got Berchiche and Vasquez, who already came out today. We got Eric Garcia. We saw Dewsbury Hall. Esme Brooks is in there, Ernest Nuama, and then Bahoya, who we saw I think a couple days ago, are all those names, and some could be objectives as well, but that's kind of okay. And here's also what Lucas Vasquez could look like if Real Madrid end up winning the UCL, and the card would obviously be insane. I mean, any card that you see that's road to the final, if they win the Champions League, is going to be insane. So it's kind of not really a surprise, showing you a little preview of what that could look like. And then we've had this development over the last couple days here since my last video, and that is that we have had a massive fodder crash because it's just not that in demand anymore. And if you have not done Gullit yet, he is down 20%. He's down 1.2, 1.3 million coins right now, down to 4.2. I think he's lower than this. Yeah, he's down to 3.7 right now. So he is down 30 some percent or so. So does this make it a little bit of a better SBC to you potentially if you've not done it yet? I would argue this price is a lot more reasonable. I know that still 3.7 million, still an insane price, but the card's insane. So if this SBC came out and it was 3.7 mil, I wouldn't have been surprised. The fact it was 5.5 or more was where it was like, okay, that's ridiculous. But this does help. And if you look at many SBCs out right now, they're actually pretty cheap. Gerd Muller is 469. You know, that's not bad. I used him on my second channel, by the way, and I didn't love him, but that's neither here nor there. Usman Dembele's gone down half in price. He was like 2 million coins. He's now 1.1, which makes that one maybe more realistic for you. I still actually argue that one's pretty expensive. Suarez is 160 now. Yaya Toure is 1.9 instead of 3 mil. So you get the gist by now, though. Just take a look at these SBC prices and see if maybe there's one that's more realistic or reasonable for you now post the fodder drop. But okay, next up here we have Jarbellini's official player of the month stats, and I think she fits into the Strike Force Evo, so that kind of helps her. Low driven and rapid, so she'll get, I think, rapid, quick step, and low driven with the Strike Force Evo. If you've managed to not do that yet, which most people probably have, but yeah, she'll fit into that, and that's the card there. And here we've got some SBCs and objectives for Dream Chasers, and Steve McManaman we have not covered yet, but he's also been leaked, and these are the official stats there. You can see them, technical and rapid on McManaman. You know, the card itself, the shooting's still pretty low. I'm assuming he's gonna be pretty cheap because the card actually isn't that crazy. He's kind of a pace merchant, yet you still have to give him some sort of chem style to make him max pace, which kind of sucks. But Eric Garcia's official stats as well are right here. Ping, pass, and intercept on him, and then Bahoya's stats, quick step and power shot. But yeah, I think everyone's, yeah, save your packs and fodder for for Immortals. The rumor has been Immortals apparently is having crazy evos. There's no literal proof of that at all, but many leakers have hinted at that. So what do they know? I don't know, but they're not telling us because we can go fuck ourselves, I suppose. And okay, next up, there was this Bateson tweet I wanted to talk about because there has been this growing sentiment a little bit. It's kind of growing. I wouldn't say it's some sort of like consensus at all, but there's a growing sentiment that work rates are like still on players because certain players seem to not move and certain players have better AI than others despite having the same roles. For example, Bateson, I honestly believe work rates are still on players. Mycon like wasn't that good for him. The thing with this though is that Mycon wasn't in the game until this year, so I don't know how a work rate would still be on this card. I don't exactly know how that works. Maybe it's just base medium then, I guess people could say. But what do you guys think? Are work rates still potentially on cards, or are there underlying reasons as to why a card might have worse AI for you than others would? Is it related to just gameplay stuff too? Inconsistent gameplay could equal worse AI for cards at certain times. And all right, next up, there was this post on Reddit that says Quick Step Plus makes players jog before sprinting fully. And if you watch this, you can kind of see players slow down a bit before they go and grab the ball on a through ball, right? Ashwala kind of jogs to the ball there and then speed boosts after. Same thing with this clip. You kind of got the jogging player and then Kelly runs past. Now, what the thing is with this is actually it's not a Quick Step Plus problem. I was hoping to see this in the comments, and it is the top comment, literally. It's not a Quick Step Plus problem. This is just a game problem. There's a point that the game has decided that you receive the ball at, right? So the game decided that you will receive the ball right there, and it has to slow down your player or speed up your player, but usually it's slow down your player to actually have the intended outcome happen, right? So it has to kind of match up. And if you look at the top comment here, this has nothing to do with Quick Step, as that only activates during the initial burst of acceleration. What you're seeing here is an issue with EA's code for intersecting with the ball. It's the same issue that makes it impossible to change direction when attempting to receive a long pass closer than the designated intersection point. The game simply will not let you move in any other direction than toward the intersection point until the ball is claimed. And this, I think, is where people have been having a lot of pace issues, is that for some reason the game will slow you down at times to receive the ball. And when you receive a through ball at times, so right here, go back and watch this clip, you have Suarez who kind of slows down there. You can see that he kind of slows enemy Suarez. Is funny, enemy Suarez struggling right there because he's slowing down a bit because the game has decided he'll receive the ball at that exact point. So it's trying to match the two things up, and it struggles with that. I don't know if that's a side effect of hyper motion or a side effect of whatever animation system that they're using, but I think that's where the pace issues tend to come in here a lot of the time, is that first touch with the ball is slow, and then also the intersection point where somebody receives the through ball tends to slow the player down. And I don't know why that happens. I think that's where EA's had problems with pace in the past, is that, hey, you know, when we test pace, we run two players in a straight line, and clearly a higher pace player clearly is faster. Like, there's no doubt about it. So why do players still feel slow? I think part of that's just the way players receive the ball is very, what's the word? Archaic, or it's not up to par with the rest of the animation systems, if I had to guess. But okay, yes, with the market right now, it's kind of staying-ish the same. At the moment, it's dropped a little bit in well, Vandersar, by the way, I'm surprised he's this cheap. Seeing this card be this cheap now, the market is just way different than the start of the year. It's way different than the start of this year. The only expensive cards are cards that are 3 million plus or evolution cards. That's the expensive cards nowadays. But yes, the Trophy Titan / Golazo / now Immortals promo does tend to crash the market a lot. It's more so because it's just the team of the season pre-promo, so you tend to get some panic before team of the season. That plays just as big of a part in it as anything, but that's pretty much it. Like, you have to expect the market to go down. Flotter's going down right now. We haven't talked about it much recently because I haven't been interested in buying it, because I figured it probably would drop from the heights of the haul at SBC. And right now, Fodder actually is mad cheap. 89s are at the lowest point they've been in quite a while. You know, they were 13K a few weeks back. They could reach that point again coming up here, but 86s are 4.7, 85s are 2.4. Like, that's crazy cheap. 84s are at 1.2 thousand right now. You could look at this actually and say that if we get crazy Trophy Titans SBCs, I say Trophy Titans, Immortals SBCs, they'll probably rise up, but we have no leaks at all right now, so I don't like buying off of pure speculation. We're getting to a point where fodder is getting pretty cheap. Maybe let it die down for another day or two and then look at buying. But okay, let's read your comments now. And I've gotten a couple of comments recently. I'm highlighting this one because I thought this was funny. Where is your video? I need my morning vid. I won't go to work until you upload. Shout out to you if I'm your morning routine. I am honored, honestly. And I say this because I saw a comment thread, I couldn't find it, but I saw a comment thread that was like, your videos used to be 20 minutes, now they're 14 minutes or 13 minutes if they're a newer viewer probably to the channel. And then somebody replied to that and said prime JFC would have been 10 minutes and kept it under that. And honestly, there's a couple things. One, I do want to make my content more digestible in terms of not having to sit through a shit ton of time. Now, obviously, I make mine as like a cut com, right? So it's much more fast-paced than I hope other channels out there are. And also, the problem with that is that I can tell clearly when my videos are in the 15 to 20 minute time range, they clearly do way better in terms of impressions than my videos do when they're 10 minutes. So I also want to try and balance the, like, yes, I want mine to be more condensed, but I also want to, like, genuinely give myself a chance to grow my channel, right? So I want to try and do both of those things. So I try and balance it. What I'm probably going to do is just talk about whatever I want to talk about, and if you don't want to watch the whole thing, you don't have to, right? I still want to have the info be condensed in certain time periods. I always have timestamps as well to try and help you guys out too, so I want to try and like work with you guys because you guys are, you know, you're my audience. I want you guys to, you know, tell me what you want because I'm here for you guys. And Llamaland says, Vinny Gold on PC already extinct. Is that your fault? I swear that's not my fault. I do not have a big enough audience to make that happen. I don't know if somebody else said that. I don't know, but I did not cause Vinny to go extinct. I promise. Patrick says, hey, at least this promo is only 1,209,600 seconds long, and we're about halfway through that. That makes me feel not any better, actually. And I asked yesterday, you know, is a card with 3 shooting playstyle pluses insane or completely redundant? And then Defake Magpie says, if I knew what redundant meant, I think I'd say that. And I asked you guys again, if you've used Garrett Muller, listen, I used Garrett Muller. It might have been a skill issue. I was not playing well yesterday, and I couldn't really score with the guy. There was a couple good animations in there, but if you've used Garrett Muller and you have power shot, finesse, and low driven, is that, I mean, like, I feel like, I don't know. I suppose we don't say that about incisive and long ball, so maybe it is actually really good. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, thank you all for joining and being here. I appreciate every single one of you, of course. I love you all. See you resume. Peace.